Many quit right before their greatest victory. But you won't be one of them after hearing this. Quitting is easy. Quitting feels comfortable. Quitting gives you instant relief. That's why most people quit. They quit when it gets hard. They quit when it takes longer than expected. They quit when results don't show fast enough. And here's the tragedy. Most quit not because they couldn't win, but because they didn't realize how close they were. Imagine a miner digging for gold. He digs for days, months, years, breaking stone, sweating, pushing, and finds nothing. He grows tired, he grows hopeless, and finally, he throws down his tools and walks away. But what he doesn't know is that just 3 feet further, the gold was waiting. That's the picture of most lives. They quit too soon. Napoleon Hill warned about this again and again. Success often comes just one step beyond the point where defeat seems certain. But most people stop at the edge. They give up in the valley right before the mountain peak. Why do most quit? Because pain feels louder than purpose. Because delay feels longer than destiny. Because the storm feels stronger than the promise. And because the voice of doubt is easier to hear than the voice of faith. But not you. Not anymore. Because today you will understand that quitting too soon is the enemy's greatest trap. He knows he cannot stop you if you persist. He knows he cannot cancel your destiny if you keep moving. So he whispers, it's too late. It's too hard. Nothing is changing. Stop now. And if you listen, you walk away right before your breakthrough. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. If he had quit after attempt number 900, the world might still be in darkness. Think of Abraham Lincoln, defeated in elections, bankrupt in business, mocked by critics, yet persisting until he became one of the most influential presidents in history. If he had quit after his losses, his legacy would have been erased. Even in Scripture, we see the same. Joshua marched around Jericho 6 days with no visible result. Imagine the soldiers whispering, "This is foolish. Nothing is happening." If they had quit on day 6, the walls would still be standing. But on day 7, after persistence, after obedience, the walls collapsed. That is the lesson. Your walls will not fall if you quit on day 6. Your promise will not appear if you stop just short. So how do you keep going when you feel like quitting? First, shift your perspective. Stop focusing on how far you have left to go and start focusing on how far you've come. Every step forward is progress. Every day you persist, you're closer than yesterday. Second, break it down. Don't think of the mountain. Think of the next step. Don't think of 10 years. Think of today. Win today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Third, feed your faith. Read truth. Speak affirmations. Surround yourself with people who refuse to quit. The voices around you matter. If you surround yourself with quitters, you will quit. If you surround yourself with fighters, you will fight. And fourth, visualize the regret. Imagine yourself years from now, wishing you had persisted, wishing you had taken one more step. Let that image burn inside you until quitting feels unbearable. Because regret is always worse than the pain of persistence. Say this with me. I will not quit. I will not stop. I will persist until I succeed. My victory is closer than I think. My persistence is stronger than my pain. Say it again until your spirit believes it. Think of the bamboo tree. For years, nothing appears above ground. You water it. You nurture it. You discipline yourself to wait. People mock you. People doubt you. And then suddenly, in the 5th year, it shoots up, growing feet in weeks. Did it grow in weeks? No, it grew in years. Underground. Hidden. Preparing. That is your life. Your growth may be invisible now, but if you persist, the breakthrough will come. Most quit in year 4. Don't be most people. Don't let impatience rob you of the harvest. Persistence is the price of greatness. Refusal to quit is the secret of destiny. And the moment you decide that quitting is not an option, victory becomes inevitable. If this message is speaking to you, don't walk away without action. Subscribe to Napoleon Inspires right now. Every day, you'll receive principles of persistence, faith, and purpose. Daily fuel to keep you going when you feel like stopping. Daily encouragement to rise, to fight, to move forward. This is not just a channel. It's a movement. A community of people who refuse to quit, who persist until the walls fall, until the promise appears, until destiny is fulfilled. Many quit right before their victory. But you're not many. You're one of the few. And because you refuse to quit, your victory is already on the way. Quitting too soon is like stopping the race when the finish line is just around the corner. Imagine a marathon runner who has pushed through miles of exhaustion, sweat, and pain. The crowd is cheering. The victory is near. But right before the final turn, he sits down and gives up. The victory was seconds away. That's what happens to millions in life. They stop right before the finish line. Noah persisted for 120 years building the ark. Imagine a mockery, the laughter, the ridicule. Every day he hammered. Every day he built with no rain in sight. Most would have quit after year 5, after year 10, after year 50. But Noah persisted. And when the flood came, his persistence saved his family and the future of humanity. What if he had quit in year 99? Job persisted through suffering unimaginable. He lost his wealth, his children, his health. His friends told him to curse God and die. But Job refused to quit on his faith. He persisted in worship, even through pain. And in the end, everything was restored double. His story proves that persistence through the darkest valley leads to restoration on the other side. Paul persisted in his mission, even chained in prison. He wrote letters that still transform lives today. If he had quit when beaten, when shipwrecked, when betrayed, the gospel would not have spread the way it did. Persistence outlived his pain. History is filled with the same truth. Colonel Sanders rejected over 1,000 times before someone agreed to sell his fried chicken recipe. If he had quit after the first 10, the first 50, the first 100 rejections, the world would never know KFC. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Imagine if he had quit. Sylvester Stallone was rejected by producers again and again with his script for Rocky. He was broke, desperate, but he refused to quit. And one film changed his life and inspired millions. Persistence is always the dividing line between mediocrity and destiny. Not talent, not luck, persistence. But how do you keep going when everything inside you wants to quit? How do you hold on when the weight feels unbearable? Here are 5 keys. First, remember your why. Purpose fuels persistence. When your vision is strong enough, no obstacle can make you quit. Tie your pain to your purpose and let it drive you forward. Second, break the pressure into steps. Don't look at the mountain, look at the next step. Win 1 hour. Win 1 day. String enough wins together and the mountain will fall. Third, build routines that carry you when motivation fades. Motivation is fragile. Discipline is dependable. When you can't run on excitement, run on structure. Fourth, speak persistence into your spirit. Words are weapons. Every time you say, I will not quit, I will persist, I am closer than I think, you silence the whispers of defeat. Fifth, surround yourself with warriors, not quitters. Alone, you're vulnerable. Together, you are unstoppable. Community pushes you through the walls you couldn't break alone. Quitting always feels easier in the moment, but persistence always feels better in the end. Imagine yourself years from now, looking back. Will you smile with pride because you persisted, or will you ache with regret because you quit? Say this with me. I refuse to quit. I'm closer than I think. I will persist until I succeed. Delay is not denial. Setback is not failure. I will rise again and again until victory is mine. Because the truth is this: you cannot lose if you do not quit. You cannot be defeated if you refuse to stop. The finish line belongs to those who persist. If this message is stirring something inside you, don't let it fade. Subscribe to Napoleon Inspires right now. Every day, you'll receive principles of persistence, faith, and purpose. Daily encouragement to fight through the storms. Daily fuel to keep running when others stop. Daily reminders that your victory is closer than you think. This is not just a channel, it's a movement. A family of people who never quit, who persist until walls fall, until promises manifest, until destinies are fulfilled. Most quit too soon, but you won't, because now you know the victory belongs not to the talented, not to the lucky, but to the persistent. And you're one of them.